Welcome back to Planet Doug behind the scenes for, boy, what day is it? Tuesday, October 18th, 11 o'clock in the morning. It's a little bit of a special day because someone is here to pick me up, someone that knows about my channels and watches some of my videos. And we're heading out for lunch and maybe for a bit of a tour around the city. And I recognize a red car. He sent me a photo of the car that he's in. Hello. I've got the GoPro here, of course.
Hi.
How are you?
Finally.
Yeah, finally.
I've been looking at you for about 2-3 years already.
Yeah, how does it feel to see the real person?
It's what I expected.
Yeah, yeah.
Sound also the same.
A lot of people are surprised at my height. They kind of meet me and they're like, wow, you're tall. They don't expect it. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, otherwise it's worth it.
But my voice and how I speak and behave, it's probably very familiar, right? Same in the videos. Yeah. All right, so look at this.
Let's get out here first.
Nice,
my son's car.
bright red car.
My son's car.
Okay. So yeah, I guess we're heading for breakfast, and I think my host for the day, he said he doesn't mind that I'm going to narrate some of the things we do today. I don't know whether he wants to be on camera or not. He's okay with me filming, is what I'm saying. We'll see how the day goes. So I'm in the car, we're on the way, and we just passed a sign for the place we're going to, Bangsar.
Happy Gardens.
Happy Gardens? Okay, going to a place for breakfast. It's past 11 in the morning. I haven't eaten breakfast because I often don't, and then my host hasn't eaten breakfast either. So we're both quite hungry. We're gonna go to a Chinese restaurant he knows for some good breakfast. And yeah, we're passing through Little India. This is like a very interesting street because there's these colorful archways. I don't know when they were built. It looks like they've been here for a long time. And it really brightens up the place, makes it seem like a special area. Brickfields is also called Brickfields. Yeah, and Little India. Yeah, I've never stayed in this part of Kuala Lumpur. I've often thought I should stay in a hotel here, but I never have. I always stayed in Chinatown area. And yeah, I don't know how to say it. Diwali? Deepavali is coming soon. I just saw a banner there for it, but I don't see the date because the banner is all twisted. But yeah, Little Indias are always such interesting places. They're so colorful, vibrant. I remember walking by this archway over there. Quite interesting. As always, it's such a treat for me to be inside a car. I'm just looking out the window, and then I can turn on the GoPro and watch the world go by. Nasi Kandar. I still haven't had Nasi Kandar either on this trip. I've had it before, but people keep asking me, about different dishes. Like, have you had Nasi Kandar? Well, I had it before. I haven't had it this time.
The best is in Penang.
The best is in. Oh, that's what I heard actually.
And taste the different.
And I think that's why people were asking me, because I was in Penang for 3 weeks. And I'm afraid the whole time I was in Penang, I had lots of different food, but I never did have Nasi Kandar there. So I failed.
No, the place where you were staying, there's one or two quite good one there.
Really?
The place where you were staying in Penang, nearby there. The Nine Clear and another one called Berato. Nasi Kandar Berato or something like that. Line up rice or something like that.
Okay. I'm pretty sure we've arrived where we're going to have breakfast because we're looking for a parking spot. Very busy here. And we can't just park anywhere because the police are here keeping an eye on things. There's a spot there, but it's pretty small. And I think we're going to have breakfast here also because there are a lot of restaurants.
This one.
Oh, okay, right over there. Chun Hong? Let's see if I can name that out the window. Chun Hong Kopitiam. Nice. And they really get your hopes up here because from a distance, like 40, 50 feet away, you think you see a spot. And then your heart says, oh, and you get there and it isn't. It's a driveway or it's the entrance to a mechanic shop and you can't park there. We've had a few of those, a few false alarms, false hopes. But But yeah, I think we're right back where we started, right?
Yep.
There's the kopitiam right there.
Okay, done.
So what does that beeping tell you?
Something's close behind. Okay, finally.
I'm so out of touch. Just sitting in a modern car with all these, you know, rear camera views and motion sensors, even that's a fun thing for me. Yeah, it's true.
I thought me only.
Feels very space age. And that's only the first part of the drama, the hunt for food, because now the car has found a spot, but now the two hungry people have to find a place to sit. That's always my issue. I have so much trouble finding a place to sit, a chair and a table. Actually, it doesn't look that bad from far away. It's not so busy.
It's not lunchtime yet.
Yeah, not lunchtime yet. There it is. Chun Hong Kopitiam. Yeah, Lucky Garden, Kopitiam, barbershop, fruit market, art and heritage gallery. I have a feeling I've been to this plaza before. I'm almost positive. I've been trying to remember when I was here before, but I can't remember when. So here we are. Oh yeah, so sort of like a food court style. So this would be the wonton mee station. Chicken rice, nasi lemak. Oh, this is great. Herbal soup, fried rice, seafood noodles over there. So yeah, look at that, that's great. And a buffet over there. It's probably where I would end up if I were on my own, but I have an expert guide, so he's gonna help me out with some ordering, some good food. Well, my host was asking me, okay, like what do you want, and this and that, and of course I'm stumbling over like, well, you know, the names of all the dishes, and he took pity on me and said, I'll decide. You just relax. I'll order some food. So I'm very happy to leave it up to him. And the guy came for our drinks order, which I guess it's the normal thing, like I got very accustomed to in Penang, where, yeah, you sit at the table and a guy will come, take your drinks order, and that pays for, you know, sitting at your table. But someone told me in the comments that's a Penang thing. You know, that whole idea of in a food court you have to order a drink, is that only in Penang or is it here as well?
Oh, this one's obligate.
It's obligatory.
Better.
Right. But you have to buy one drink. Yeah.
You're taking up their space.
Okay. I thought I read something on YouTube in a comment, someone was saying that was a Penang thing, you know?
Here not really. Here not really.
I just finished changing the battery on the GoPro, and I was explaining that GoPros are very intelligent and they're very malicious because they know the worst possible time for the battery to die. Our food, all the food arrived. As soon as the food hit the table, the camera battery died. It's like it knew the food was here, and it says, my battery's gonna die. So can you tell me about the food that you ordered?
I don't know much.
Like
porridge.
Just porridge, but it's called?
Porridge. Pork porridge.
Okay, I thought it had a local name or something like that.
No. Pork porridge.
Pork porridge.
I also don't know why it's all pork. I call it the black meat.
Black meat. Okay.
That's not the official name.
Oh, okay. And then a kind of soup over there.
It comes together.
Oh, these two just come together. Okay. All right. So there's and I got a cold drink. So that's what's going on at this table right now. So I'm under orders to mix it up. But if this is black, oh, okay. There's meat. There's meat on the top. And there's sauce. And then you got And once we start eating, you know, the introduction of the food is out of the way, then we can settle down and chat about some other topics. I don't think I've had this before. I don't think so.
It's quite common.
Yeah, well, even common food for everyone else is not so common for me. It's tasty, like a soy sauce maybe, a lot of soy. Looks like it has some sort of kind of a sausage, sliced sausage. Yeah. Very good.
Thank you. How's it?
It's good. Like a soy sauce, right?
Yeah.
Like a lot of soy. And this is like a miso soup sort of thing. I never
You never tried this before. This is so many trips here.
I don't remember it,
Oh,
but
okay.
I don't remember food. And I got my milk tea. I kept trying to order milk tea in Penang. I could never get it. Every time I tried, I would get clear tea. Like,
Dripping. It's dripping.
oh, it's okay. All right, breakfast snack is over. Okay, so yeah, this is what we had, or what I had anyway. The pork ball noodle, and it always comes together with the soup. So yeah, he was actually pointing at that picture from a distance, but I wasn't sure what he was pointing at. So here's all the all the ingredients that go into it. Then the soup here, the miso soup. Yeah, good meal, good for breakfast, good for lunch. Thank you. Wow. But there's always a certain level of noise. It's like, I look around, and there's not that many people in there, and there's not a lot going on, and yet I find myself shouting across the table. So I don't know where all the noise is coming from. There's something about a kopitiam that just makes everybody start talking louder, and then you have to talk louder because they're talking louder, and it just goes up and up. It's kind of a relief for me to step outside again, and it's like, quiet. I can hear. That's where we ended up parking. It's kind of funny, because here's the, kopitiam, and here's the parking lot, and we rode around and around and around this thing like we were in some kind of really, really slow Indy 500 race. You know, it's like a racetrack, around and around and around, and in the end, we park right there. It's like a couple hundred feet away. And just driving around the parking lot, we drove like, I don't know, 20, 30 times that distance looking for a parking spot. Should have gone just straight there. But yeah, cars. And my host, he tells me, is a car guy. It's his passion, his hobby, cars. Really loves them. Very exciting things going on here on my, I always forget the day. It's
Tuesday.
Tuesday. Yeah, I'm doing these daily video journals. I should at least know what day it is, but I've lost all track of time. I don't even know what century I'm in half the time these days. But I asked I mentioned that you're a car enthusiast.
Yeah.
And so I asked what kind of car this is, and it's a Proton. And that rings a bell for me because I remember finding out about Protons at the National Museum here in Kuala Lumpur. They had a display there about the history of that car company because it started off as a Malaysian car company. It's like a Malaysian produced, designed car, the Proton. Yeah, I remember that now. But you're saying the company has been purchased by somebody
Geely.
Geely in China. Oh, okay. So I found that that really interesting, just to make that connection. Like, here I am getting a tour of a new part of Malaysia, new to me, and I'm in a Malaysian car, the Proton. The other exciting thing is we were kind of chatting about different foods that I may like. As he put it, he's looking for a baseline. He needs the Planet Doug baseline for what kind of foods would make me happy and that I'd like to try. And he mentioned a long-established Chinese burger place, not Ramley Burger, which makes me smile. But yeah, so we might go try one of those. That'll be interesting.
Locals will know lah. The locals, the old boys locals will know.
They'll know?
Yeah. Jackson.
Jackson?
Yeah.
That's what it's called?
Yes. Jackson Burger.
But it's not a chain. It's not like Ramley Burger. It's like one place.
Yeah, one small van.
Street side kind of place. All right, that sounds great. A little trip update. We've been zooming along some highways here, and we are in PJ now. Kind of a satellite town or satellite district attached to Kuala Lumpur. I guess we went kind of downtown Kuala Lumpur to Bangsar, and then Bangsar to PJ.
Now PJ.
Okay. What came after Bangsar?
Bangsar and Brickfields are side by side.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, Brickfield, and then Bangsar, and now PJ. So yeah, I wasn't paying much attention, and suddenly we pulled over to the side of the road, and there's a little, it's like a truck, and it says Jackson, and a guy there making chicken burgers, beef burgers, filet-o-fish, and hot dogs. So that is the famous Jackson. And how do you know about Jackson?
This one happened something about end of 70s. My brother brought me here. End of 70s, 80s.
70s or 80s, really?
Very here. This spot.
Always here.
Always.
And you said people will know about this place, like Malaysians. It's that famous.
If you are around in PJ, say Jackson's Burger, SS2 area, say Jackson's Burger, most of the people will know.
Okay. And there it is. The famous, regionally famous Jackson's Burger. You're telling them about my GoPro?
Oh, no, I'm telling you, I'm YouTuber.
Oh, yeah.
They say not working, I say, yeah, not working today.
Who's not working?
Me.
Oh, look at that, so convenient. Just a truck. And he was saying that it's always here. I don't know why that would be. Like, why here and not another place in PJ, but he said just all up and down here, different in front of different houses, but always in this area. This is where they've parked since the 70s or 80s. And they barely even have a sign. You'd think there'd be okay, on the front of the truck. Yeah, Jackson's Burger. I love setups like this. Like I remember when I was a kid and teenager back in Canada, vans, like modified vans, were incredibly popular. Like you take an old van and you put furniture in the back and shelves and a stove and turn it into like a little house, and you get all compartmentalized. So you have a truck like this, and they set up a grill there, and then here, is a wow, that's heavy. Okay, so that's where the cold drinks are. That is a thick piece of steel. And I've noticed they're cooking with a lot of butter. Like it's not a grill, like not a barbecue grill. They're frying it with a lot of butter. That seems to be what a Jackson burger is all about. Freshly cooked burgers have started to arrive. You put two in front of me, so what's going on here?
You have to take a picture of this.
Oh yeah, that's our, so yeah, we got one there. This is chicken or beef?
Chicken.
That's chicken, and this one also chicken. Okay, so that's yours, of course.
For your convenience.
Yeah. He unwrapped it and put it right in front of me, and I thought, yeah, I have two of them? Like, and he says, no, I'm a YouTuber. You have to take a photo of it or a video, right? He's right. So here it is. And it's on Google Maps, this place. If you type in Jackson's Burger, you'll see where we are, And it's a top rated. They're listing on Google Maps. So, oh yeah, there's mine. Ooh, chicken. cucumber, onion, tomatoes. So I need both hands for this operation. So I'll report back later on my chicken burger experience. So finished up our chicken burgers on the way out. I found out that his brother, this man's brother, chose the name Jackson. It's not a family name or anything. They just liked it as the name of the business. So they picked it, and they started doing this in 1973. Yeah, 1973. So, all right, thank you.
Okay, bye.
Now I have to go try a Ramley burger, and I can do a taste test comparison. Well, I'm back in my own neighborhood. My host for the day just dropped me off after a really interesting tour outside, just around the edges of Kuala Lumpur, all the different neighborhoods, sampling bits of local foods, you know, the Jackson burger, breakfast at the Kopitiam, stop at a little Indian restaurant that he knows. And on the way back, he took me on a couple of little side trips to show me different neighborhoods, like Mount Kiara or Sri Hartamas. Really nice neighborhood, like big expat community living there, apparently fairly wealthy neighborhoods. That was really interesting to see. And me, I'm just popping into KK Supermart. Right there, my neighborhood Supermart to get some milk. When I set off this morning, I left all of my devices back in my room, busy exporting, uploading, doing all kinds of crazy video things. So now I have to go back and see whether they all finished. Yeah, this is a kind of a typical place here. This KK, you find one in almost every neighborhood, open 24 hours. It's kind of a it's not like a 7-Eleven, but it's like a small supermarket style, 7-Eleven style. There's my milk. And a classic characteristic of KK is generally that it's very crowded, as you can see, and the aisles are so close together. So I find I can't actually see anything, because like right here, when you're standing in one of these aisles, you're so close to the product shelves, you can't see up to the top or the bottom. So you have to kind of step away and try and see what's here. It's so crowded, so tight, you can't actually even see what's on the shelves. So it's hard to find what you're looking for. You have to know where it is. But I know what I want, milk. So I'll just go there and get some. If I can get to it. Okay. Thank you. I've got my milk. One thing funny about KK though, I've often joked to myself about this. Nobody smiles in those places. I don't know where they get the staff from, like the people that work at KK, but they're all kind of the same person. Almost always men, these young men, and they're the grimmest people on the planet. I picture the KK HR department scouring the planet, asking for, okay, who in your town has never smiled, never greeted a human being in their life, is just unhappy and sad and grim all the time. And they find that person, son, you're hired. You're the kind of guy we need at KK. So I go in there all happy-go-lucky, and I don't know, I like to get a smile out of people. Even when I'm buying milk, I want that human connection. But man, KK, it defeats me every time. Those guys, they're grim. They never smile. And I don't know why they're so unhappy. And I don't know how it is that one company can be successful in all of their staff being so grim and unhappy. But that's kind of the way it is at KK. It's kind of funny. But I had yeah, the same guy is sitting at the cash register at this one almost all the time. And I don't know, I just have weird experiences with him. So weird that, to be honest, I don't really want to go back there anymore. I want to find a new KK because he freaks me out a little bit. But the last time I went there, yeah, I bought some things, milk and some coffee creamer and some instant coffee. I can't remember what the bill came to, but it came to something. And something 20, like it might have been 19.20, like 19 ringgit 20 cents. And I gave him 20, and then he gave me the receipt. Oh no, he didn't give me a receipt. And then that was it. Then he just sort of looked at me like, okay, you can go now. Because he didn't give me any change at all, and I was expecting 80 cents change. And obviously 80 cents is not a lot of money, but at the same time, it's just part of the routine. You know, it's what we do. You know, I hand you the money, you give me the change, and then we go. And if you don't give me the change, I don't know, it feels like we haven't finished the transaction yet. So I thought about just turning around and leaving, like I'm not going to argue over 80 cents. But then I kind of looked at him and said, like, isn't there some change? And he kind of looked at me like, you know, rolled his eyes like, okay, you're going to hassle me over less than 1 ringgit in change? And I'm like, I don't know, it's a store. You know, it's that's what you do, right? So then he didn't even get it from the cash register. He kind of looked at me and gave a sort of like a frustrated, oh, for Pete's sake, shook his head a little bit. The customer wants his change. And he reached under the counter and he came out with a 1 ringgit note and just sort of handed it back to me with a little bit of disdain. And then I took the 1 ringgit note, but now I owed him 20 cents because I was only owed 80. And he gave me 1 ringgit. And I thought, and I joked with him, I says, well, now I owe you 20. And I'm joking and smiling. I'm trying to get some sort of a connection out of this guy. And he just looked at me stone-faced. But out of my pocket, I dug out a 20-cent coin and says, well, I owe you 20 now. You know, you gave me 1 ringgit, you know, but it was only 80. So here's 20 back. And then I left, and I thought that was pretty funny, but yeah, he didn't think so. He was so grim throughout the entire exchange. Saddest man I've ever seen. I don't know. KK. It's a funny place. Have to find out where corporate headquarters are. But that is it for today's small adventures. A little bit of a disjointed day, perhaps, because I was just sort of jumping around with my host from place to place, you know, driving around in his car and checking out different places. It was the first time I'd met him. We'd been communicating online, and first time for him to meet me as well, you know. So it's just a chance for us to get together, have a drink, have a quick breakfast, chat a little bit. Yeah, enjoyed that quite a bit. It's always nice to see a new part of Kuala Lumpur. And now that I have my milk, I can duck inside. And that's it for today. And as always, I'll see you in the next video.